Alright, in this episode we're going to actually remove the seat and the tank. In previous videos, we've actually removed the side covers and the front cowling that goes around the headlights and also the windscreen. If you need help doing all that, you can check out previous videos. They're going to be listed up here in the corner. So let's get the seat. You're going to use the same trusty 4mm Allen you've been using for almost the whole bike. We'll start by removing the east side. Okay, be careful because there's this little rubber thing here and this little spacer. Make sure that goes all with it. 3 parts. So you get 2 of these latch bolts on both sides. Alright, as you can see, because of the parts, it's easy to lose maybe some of these. If you lose that spacer, it makes it difficult. So 3D Cycle Parts makes a really cool kind of attachment that's all one unit, and that replaces this entire assembly. It makes it so you don't have to actually use an Allen. You can just twist this with your fingers. So we're going to replace our seat with these when we're done. You should be able to lift it from the back, just slide it backwards, and it comes right off. Okay, so while we're here, you might as well check out the accessories, the fuse. So this will be the fuse that basically powers all the accessories once you put the relay in there. This little 15-amp fuse. There's a spare one right here. So before we remove the tank, it's probably a good idea to have as minimal fuel in here as you can. It's not necessary that it be completely drained, but you probably don't want 3 or 4 gallons in there. So now that we got the seat off and we got the side covers off, the tank is actually surprisingly simple. It's really only held on by these 2 bolts now. These are both 10mm. Make sure it goes with the bolt and the washer and this little bracket. And that bracket, when you put it back, make sure this thing is toward the back part of the bike. That's what holds the seat on. So additionally, on the right side of the tank is this little vent hose. So just grab a set of needle nose pliers and pull this back, pull that back, and take the vent off, the hose. Pull the vent off. Another reason not to have a full tank is you can see the vent levels right here and that fuel will spill out. So now that we got the seat off, we'll remove the side panels. As you can see right here where the tank is, it's going to make it easier to maneuver the tank and get it out if these panels are off. So the trusty 4mm Allen, we'll remove this bolt here. So you got 2 bolts holding it on this side, on the left side. Actually, this is the right side. When you pull this out, there should be a little spacer in there, so make sure you don't lose that. Actually, there's 1 more bolt to the back here, so 3 bolts in total, all using the same 4mm. And this screw is different than the other 2. It just comes with that standard plastic washer. Once you remove those 3 bolts, you just slide it backwards, and that should pop right off the top. There you go. Now for the left back panel, same thing, 4mm Allen. Don't lose that little spacer. Now this panel actually has 4. There's 2 on the front and then 2 on the back. Once that off, it should just come straight off. There it is. Easy. There's a little pin here that holds it right here. The side panel's off, and you've got the seat off and the back panels. I think it is possible to actually do it without the side panels off, but it just makes it much easier. So the next part that makes this section easier is lift up here, put a block underneath there, and that'll give you access so you can see underneath here. All right, this part is a little tricky. But what we need to do is, see that little latch valve here? You need to make sure those orange portions are pushed up equally and then pushed forward toward the bike, forward and down. I figure the best way to do it is just use your fingers. Hopefully you have smaller fingers. You can reach in there and with both fingers kind of extend it out and then push down. This part, it's also a good idea, just put a little bit of rag, because whatever's in that hose, the fuel that's in that hose, is going to spill out. So put that underneath here. And then I'm just going to get my finger in there and pull straight out, ever so gently. It's not easy. Alright, got a little bit of movement. Come on, buddy. Just don't force it. Be patient with this part. I think it's almost there. Goodness. Not easy. Come on. So we have to move the tank around a little bit just to get that off. It might help. I feel it. It's coming. There it is. It's off. It's off. Woohoo! You have a better idea now that I've pulled it off, but you can see how long that plastic tube is. You definitely don't want to break that, because that goes straight to the tank and the pump. Okay, we've got one more last thing to do. See that wire that goes to your fuel pump? Trace it down here and you'll see it's got a connector right here. You just have to pop that connector. We'll be free. There's a little tab up on top there. You should be able to move that and then hopefully jimmy it out. There's not a whole lot of room to work though. What we're trying to get is right here, but there's not a lot of room, so I'm going to take this cover off and see if that helps me. It's a 5mm Allen. This little cover here. That thing's Loctited pretty good. So removing that cover might help a little bit, but basically what you need to do is you need to push that little tab up and forward toward the bike. And as soon as you can get that tab up and forward, once you push that tab up, you should be able to wiggle out. Bada bing, bada bing. That's probably the hardest part of the tank, is getting your fingers under there and pulling that hose and also the cable. After that, you just lift it out ever so gently. That's it. Tank's free. Okay, so now that we have it off, you can get a better idea of what that plastic piece is that comes from the fuel pump is. It's very long, so you got to pull it all the way out here. Now we'll go check out the other part. So here's the part that I was talking about that goes to the tank. You can either remove it here or here. I personally found out this one's easier, at least for me. It's difficult to get your fingers in under here and push these down. But this gives you more leverage. If you can get this one on, this other one gives you more leverage. But I can show you what it looks like. So you have to put your fingers in here, push down on this little gate, and then you can pull that off. Just like the other one. Now that we've got the tank out, it's a good idea to check the serial number on the pump. So there was a recall on 22 and 23 models, and you need to look at these last 3 digits here. Our particular one is Mike Hotel Uniform. So here's a digital copy of the bulletin. Check the last 3 characters, Mike Hotel uniform is not on the list of bad fuel pumps. So there you go, the tank is off, and now we've got a naked bike. No tank, no panels. This will give us access to all the things we need to get for aux connectors and start the next phase of our wiring. So if you're interested in more KLR modifications, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of future updates.